There were rumors floating all over social media over the past several days about Clemson and Florida State moving to the SEC. Jason, what type of likelihood are we talking about?
While I'm inclined to not believe a word that outgoing President John Thrasher has said, and I disagree with him on nearly everything, I'm hoping 100% that he's telling the truth on this one. You mentioned a little bit off the top. Yes, 8 years ago we were a great program. 8 years ago we probably could have. Right now this program is not ready. Right now this program needs at least, I'd say probably 3 years, 2 years maybe if we can jumpstart this quickly, if Mike Norvell can jumpstart this quickly before we can even start to smell that conversation. I think the deeper question here you have to ask is the SEC. Yeah, Mark and I will admit it, viewers, we were wrong. Texas and Oklahoma, they joined the SEC. We didn't think it would happen. They went over there. The question is, where's the SEC going to stop? What is their end goal here? Are they trying to get to 20 teams? What is their next step here? If it's not Clemson and Florida State, are they going to try to get a Clemson and Miami? Are they going to try to expand out of the Southeast and say geography be damned and let's go up and try to get some teams out of the Big Ten? That's the big question: is what is the SEC's next step here? But as far as Florida State, I think I'm inclined to believe what John Thrasher has to say here. It's a rarity he tells the truth, but on this one, let's hope that he's telling the truth.
Yeah, no, I shut that down immediately. I won't say that, we know everything, but we never heard anything on it, along with other outlets here in Tallahassee that cover Florida State. Nobody had anything on that. This was reported. That's been known with bad info before. Didn't believe it one bit. I'm sure in past history that might have been the case, but early on when Florida State was, wreaking havoc like you were talking about a while ago, Mark, but that just doesn't make sense right now for Florida State. The amount of, there's a lot of money legalities that goes into this. And right now Florida State and even a little bit of Clemson, but Florida State, there's just no chance for that. I don't know if someone's going to give them a gigantic load of money or get out of these things that have been signed in contracts. But, it's not a good time for FSU to go that route anyways, in my opinion. They got a long ways to go with, they're practically almost going to be facing an SEC schedule. You start off the season, not this upcoming season, but the year after, you're going to be playing against Georgia. You start having these games with them. You're starting to load up even more. You've got LSU coming into, that's actually the next season. So is LSU in 2022. Like it just, you're fine where you're at. You got a long ways to go, but I'm sure the SEC would like to have a Florida State or, a Clemson. Those are two big time brand names in college football. It's just not going to happen. And, I already just kind of skipped right through it on Twitter. It just didn't make sense.
It's also kind of getting old. Like there was a rumor down here that Miami is rumored to be talking to the Big Ten. Miami's not going to the Big Ten. Everyone is staying put. But the question is, that's what the biggest question is: when will this all stop? Make the bad rumors go away. Florida State is going to stay in the ACC. God will.
I don't think Florida State's status as a football program and where the state of the football program right this second has a whole lot to do with whether there would be a decision to move to the SEC. I don't think that the decision rides on how good the program is right now. I believe it rides more on legalities and money than anything else.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where it's at. I mean, it's like I was saying, we were talking about in our Discord like the last 2 days since this report came up, and no one was really agreeing with it. The thing with the ACC network, along with how when Florida State has their contract with the ACC, it's just not going to happen kind of deal. Like that's just Florida State, the university put themselves into this situation. It's just not where, unless SEC, if there's some kind of, I just don't know how all the legal stuff goes, but it just doesn't make sense. It's not where the Florida State football program is. Florida State is still Florida State. That logo speaks for itself. It's going to do gigantic numbers, even if Florida State went 3-6 last year. People, even though it's going to be the one game on Sunday night, but still that game is going to get millions and millions of views, and that's Florida State versus Notre Dame. That logo rides heavily, and Florida State's been down, but any conference would love to have Florida State in the program, even how they've been the last couple of years, because it generates revenue, it generates ratings. Florida State fans are always going to watch it. It's one of the strongest fan bases there is, and so
That being said, Logan,
Yeah.
the SEC right now, while Florida State, yes, Florida State's a sexy name. You look at last year. Yes, Florida State was a 3-16. They were also on national TV against Notre Dame on NBC, national TV against North Carolina, Miami on ABC. They are a national brand.
And North Carolina.
Well, that's why I said North Carolina, Miami,
Yeah.
ABC. At the same point, the SEC doesn't need Florida State at this moment. They already have the University of Florida. They are, which the Gator fans love to brag is the flagship university, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. They already have that right now. It's not like the Big 12 who would like to get a Florida school to get into the Florida market. Would the SEC mind having a Miami or Florida State in it? No, I'm sure they wouldn't mind it, but they don't need it. That's the thing right now. Now, if Florida State goes, let's say in a perfect world, they go 8-4 in the regular season this year, then all of a sudden Florida State becomes a little sexier. So at this point, have a winning season now, focus on getting better first, and then maybe 2 or 3 years later, when the apocalypse begins here in college football that we seem to be going towards, then we can focus on that.
Yeah, no, and practically too, I'm thinking too, it's really not a needs thing for SEC. Do they need Oklahoma and Texas? No, that is just adding on to the amount of gigantic money that they're going to be bringing in. That's just cherry on top of cherries that they already have. You know, there's not really a need for them. Their biggest thing is they obviously want to take over big time inside of college football.